Hey guys, welcome to ZIBAKERIZ. Today in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to create this two-tiered elegant pink, black, and white sugar-wrapped cake. We're going to start off by torting the top of the 6-inch layered cake. Make sure to keep turning the turntable to get that straight, even cut. Now using my American buttercream that I've colored with some pink gel food coloring, I'm creating a border on the edge of the cake alternating with black, which is my chocolate American buttercream that I've added some black gel food coloring, and I'm just alternating between the two colors. I'm going to do the same process again for my second layer, starting with pink on the edge, alternating with black until I'm going to reach the center of the cake. You could do different colors if you want, just have fun with it. And now I'm going to take my last layer and just flip it over and make sure to add some buttercream to the top, smooth it out, and this is going to be my crumb coat, so it doesn't have to be super thick. You can just add a thin layer and just go all around the cake. I like to start from the top and work all the way to the bottom. Don't need to add a lot of buttercream to this, just a thin layer, and then after that we're gonna scrape the sides using a bench scraper. Now I'm gonna bring the lip of frosting to the center of the cake, and you don't have to be perfect with this. This is just a crumb coat, and then I'm gonna let it chill in the fridge for 5 to 7 minutes. Now with my 8-inch layer cake that's already been crumb coated, I'm going to be adding some of my pink American buttercream. This is the color that I've chose for my bottom tier for my cake, and I'm going to add a generous amount of buttercream to this. I like to start from the very top and slowly work my way to the bottom. You should add a generous amount of buttercream because we will be scraping this off when we are going to be smoothing down our cake. So I do like to apply a heavy amount of buttercream to this cake layer. Just keep adding and covering in some of those empty spots. Now using a bench scraper, I'm just going to smooth down the sides of the cake and place the cake into the fridge for 10 to 15 minutes. Take your 6-inch cake layer out of the fridge and add a generous amount of buttercream to the top. I'm going to work my way from the top all the way to the bottom, and I do want to add a lot of buttercream since it's white and I don't want any of the cake to show through. Keep doing this until the entire cake is covered. And then using a bench scraper, we're just going to smooth down the sides of the cake. Do it slowly so you have those nice straight edges. Now place this cake into the freezer for 10 minutes. Take the 8-inch cake layer out of the fridge, and using a hot knife, we're just going to take the top part off. We're going to do this very slowly so we get those sharp, smooth edges that we all love. We're going to do this slowly all on the top of the cake, and using a hot, tapered spatula, we're going to smooth down the top as well. We're going to do the same for the sides and gradually bring the lip of frosting to the center of the cake. Now we're going to take the cake and put it back into the fridge. We're going to repeat the same steps again with our 6-inch layer cake. Using a hot knife, we're going to go all around the top of the cake and get rid of the excess. Then we're going to use a tapered spatula and go all over the sides of the cake and do the same thing again. Bring the lip of frosting to the center of the cake. This will ensure that we get those sharp, smooth edges that we all love in our cakes. Now that both the cake layers have been chilled, we're going to place the 6-inch cake layer over the 8-inch cake layer, carefully placing it over the top. Now using a piping bag with some buttercream, we're going to close off the seam. Then using a scraper, we're going to smooth it out, closing the seam. And with a hot tapered spatula, just go over it and clean off the bottom and the sides of the cake. Now using a toothpick, we're going to be creating these wavy lines. I'm going to create 3 lines going in the same direction. You can do whatever preferred design you want, but this is the design that I'm going for. And you can see that I'm applying very minimal pressure. You don't need a lot of pressure to create these lines. And try to create these lines very slowly while trying to keep a very slow and steady hand. Now using some black buttercream, I'm going to follow the first and the third line. This is a Wilton tip 3 that I'm using. Do this all around the cake, making sure that your buttercream is touching the cake throughout the entire process. Now using some pink buttercream, we're going to fill in the center line. I'm using a Wilton tip 2. We're going to do this very slowly with a very steady hand all throughout the cake. Over here I have this sugar mixture, which is just some sugar, water, and some lemon juice that I've cooked over the stove on medium heat. Here I have a parchment paper that fits the entire size of my cake, but since I want the sugar wrap only halfway on my cake, I'm going to create these swirls only going halfway on the parchment paper. You do want your sugar syrup to be quite thin, and you do want to work very quickly because it can start to harden very quickly. Keep adding more depending on how much or how less you want your sugar wrap to be. Now we're very carefully going to wrap this on the bottom tier of this cake. Very gently press it into the cake, trying to smooth it out, and then peel the parchment paper back. It comes off very easily. Now use a bowl that fits the height and width of the sail you want for the top tier of your cake. Then place it in the center, then press it down to create a mark for where you want your sail to be. Now flip the bowl upside down and cover it entirely in parchment paper. Now using the same sugar syrup, we're going to create swirls and cover the entire bowl with the syrup. You can add more or little depending on how much you want. Now flip it back upside down and carefully peel back the parchment paper and take out the bowl. Now peel the parchment paper back, and there you have a beautiful, elegant sail. Cut off the excess sugar to create a smooth edge and place it on the top tier of your cake. And there you have it, a beautiful, elegant, pink, black, and white sugar wrapped cake. Now for the best part, slicing the cake to reveal the inside of this two-colored buttercream cake. Really happy with the way the cake turned out, both on the inside and outside. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like, share, comment, and subscribe since I'll be making a new cake video each week. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video.